tell me about this education group. Tell me a little bit about what they can expect.
Sure. So ILSC Education Group has been around for 28 years now, and we've really developed a very interesting way of teaching English to our students. So the very first thing that makes us incredibly unique from other language schools is the amount of flexibility and choices we give to our students. So, for example, the first choice is, of course, they get to choose amongst 7 different cities where they can come and study English in. We have 3 campuses, as you mentioned, in Canada, and we've got 3 more in Australia and another one in New Delhi in India. The second choice is always about the schedule. So students can come to us for an intensive program, a full-time program, or a part-time program as well. The part-time program can even be taken in the afternoon. And the way that we approach our language programs is we do offer a completely fully immersive program. That means if a student is looking to really come to us for a short period of time of just 4 weeks and really, really improve their language, we always suggest for them to come and take our homestay accommodation option. So the homestay accommodation option will place them with a Canadian family that lives somewhere within 45 minutes of the school, and that way from the morning until evening they're speaking English only. Our campuses are also English only, and that is a policy that is always enforced.
So tell me about how students can kind of customize their experience.
Well, we have over 120 different courses and programs for students to choose from, and we've developed a lot of courses that are creative and cultural language development. So students can take some very unique courses that are based on their hobbies and their passions. And the great thing about that is when a student's fully interested in the subject that they're studying, their language progression goes a lot quicker. At the same time, we do have quite a few of very, very strong academic programs as well.
Amazing. And so what about the pathway program?
So the Pathway program is one of our most popular programs at ILSC Education Group, and it is available at all of our campuses. The way that the program is designed, it's basically designed for students to study English in order to succeed in higher education, whether it's in Canada, US, or in Australia. And students come into our program for a minimum of 8 weeks, and they develop not just language skills, but also a lot of the academic skills that are going to be very, very essential for their success once they go into college or university. And another amazing thing there is students that complete our Pathway program get to go into colleges and universities without writing IELTS or TOEFL.
Oh, wow. So it's like a fast pass almost.
It's a lot less stressful. Writing IELTS, honestly, even as a native English speaker, for me, it's incredibly hard. So there's a lot more in that program. It's the fact that IELTS just basically teaches you how to pass the exam, right, in a certain way, how it's timed, what they're looking for. But this program will teach little details like how to take notes, how to approach your professor, what is the right format of references and citation, because here in Canada it's quite different than Europe or anywhere else in the world, really.
That's really great. I know when we first spoke on the phone, you said that some of the unique courses included like debate club, essay writing. Is there any other ones you can kind of speak to?
Yeah, so it's all about what the student wants to develop. So in the morning, they would be taking a core class, and the core class will be something interesting, something that maybe they are passionate about, like the debate club that you mentioned. And that core class will go through all 4 language skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And then in the afternoon, they get to choose something that is more of a skill base. So for a student that is really struggling with their writing, for example, they can take the grammar class. Or somebody who really wants to get rid of their accent, for example, they can do pronunciation. But we also have some really fun classes like English through drama, English through film. We even have one which is a singing class in Vancouver.
Wow, that's like really unique experience for them.
Yeah, it is. And our courses rotate every 4 weeks, every session, basically. So they always get to choose something new and exciting. If they want to continue in the same course, no problem. But the higher their level, the more courses they get to choose.
Right.
And we have a really amazing app, which is available to all of our students, that has the course selection. Students can look at that ahead of time, and they can also track their progress and check their attendance to make sure that they are still passing that course.
That's great. So it's all the information is laid out for them in this app.
Exactly, yeah.
That's great. So let's talk about some of the junior camps.
Sure. So our junior camps, we've got what I like to call two different options, basically. So they're available in all three of our Canadian campuses, and we have something that majority of the world is a little bit more familiar with, which is students come to us and they study in the morning. Of course, with students of the same age group, we take students from the age of 13 to 17 into this particular camps. And then in the afternoon, they have activities, and then they go home to a homestay family that will continue to engage with them, chat with them, practice their language with them, have dinner. It's a little bit of an experience of Canadian life for them as well. And then on Saturdays, they will do a full day trip somewhere nearby. And we also have some really exciting camps that are located at some of the top universities in Canada. So these are a little bit of a different experience for the student. It's definitely the first taste that they will have as an international student on campus.
Right.
So all of it is held on the campuses of McGill as well as UBC, and they are busy from morning to night. They stay at the residence there, they study on campus, and of course there's activities for all of the free time as well as 2-day trip on the weekend.
Okay, so one of the big things that students really want to know is what kind of resources they have access to. Is there anything particular with like mental health or their overall well-being?
Yeah, of course. So for our long-term students, we work with Gardening, which is an insurance company, and they've developed a really fantastic app. And this app is available. It's basically access to counselors that will speak the student's language, and they can turn to them whether they're feeling depressed, whether they're feeling, homesick. If there's anything that's bothering them, that is something that is included in their fees at ILSC. And we do also have student advisors at all of our campuses. And the student advisors typically speak the student's language. Of course, we've got so many students from all over the world. We can't provide one in every language, but they also know what to suggest. Students can come to them and talk to them about their feelings. And then if needed, our student advisors will be able to help, will be able to suggest, even if they're just sick, not mental health, just sick and they need to know where to go, we'll be able to direct them to a walk-in clinic or suggest that they go to the emergency room.
Right. That's great. It's great that you guys have that support already built in.
For sure. It's something that we find to be incredibly needed, because especially long-term students, sometimes it's their first time being away from home. Sometimes it's their first time living on their own. You and I talked a little bit about Homestay, but in addition to Homestay, we also have residence for students to choose from. So it's a little bit like student apartments. That's one option. The other one is a residence that's just up the street here in Toronto as well. And that might be their very first time cooking for themselves.
Right.
Themselves. So they really do need support, both emotional and mental.
Yeah, of course. That's a great thing to have on hand. Okay, so there's also some options for extracurriculars.
Oh yeah, of course. We want our students to stick around the school as much as possible and also join us on activities. The way that we see it is if the students engage with each other as well as with us, their language, again, will develop a lot faster. They'll have the ability to put what they just learned to practice. So we have an activity pretty much every single day of the week.
Wow.
Our students can, it's really cool. And it ranges from free yoga classes to trips to go see the CN Tower, aquarium. Sometimes it's the weekend trips that our students do together as well. And every single month, all of our campuses include at least one volunteering opportunity for our students as an activity, because that's a big part of who ILSC is.
Mm-hmm.
we are going this year into an interesting campaign, which is to support our Learn to Earn program. So Learn to Earn program is a program where our campuses collect money throughout the year, and that money goes towards education for women in India. And this year, we're doing $1 per registration received across all 7 cities, 14 different campuses that will go towards these scholarships as well.
Wow. So it's like you're giving back as well.
It's a very big thing for ILSC.
Yeah.
It's always been the heart of it. Corporate social responsibility is something we don't take lightly. It's something that we really do put a lot of time and effort into. We've held another really cool fundraising campaign. There was a gentleman in, I believe, Melbourne, who was trying to raise money for cancer. And what he was doing was he was going to cycle from Melbourne all the way to Sydney, which is, I believe, 1,000 kilometers. And they reached out to all of our campuses in order to meet, I believe it was $3,500 target, and we were able to do that in a week.
Wow.
Yeah. And then once he arrived to Sydney, we welcomed him with a giant barbecue, and it's something that is very, very important to us, that's for sure.
So aside from having support with your different counselors, is there any other resources that you can talk about?
Yeah, we like to pride ourselves to be on a one-stop kind of shop. So we also offer students the ability to book insurance with us, airport transfers. And one of the things that I find to be very, very useful, especially here in Canada, is we do have immigration consultants also available for our students.
Oh, amazing.
So sometimes students come in on a visitor's visa, fall in love, and want to go here for higher education. So we have somebody here who will guide them through the study permit application or the extension of it. Or if we're looking at our private career college, sometimes they need a little bit of help getting a work permit, for example.
Right.
So we're happy to be able to offer all of that on our campus.
So thank you so much for speaking with me today, Maria.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And if anyone who's watching does have more questions, you can contact us at info@applyboard.com. I will also leave a link in our description and just an overall schedule of what we talked about today. So again, thank you so much, and I hope you guys have questions.
Thank you. Take care.